astronomers detect a mysterious blast of radio waves that this is the biggest, strangest mystery in all the universe at the present time. These are called fast radio bursts. It began with an anomaly, something so subtle it almost slipped through unnoticed. The Voyager spacecraft, those twin marvels of 20th century engineering, launched in 1977, had long passed the borders of our solar system, venturing into interstellar space with their golden records and dwindling signals. Over the decades, scientists had grown accustomed to Voyager's intermittent data transmissions, erratic, weak, often incomprehensible due to the spacecraft's immense distance from Earth. But recently, a peculiar pattern emerged, something disturbingly regular within the seemingly random noise. Michio Kaku, theoretical physicist and one of the foremost voices in science communication, stepped into the spotlight when AI deciphered what the human eye and ear could not. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The data picked up faintly by NASA's Deep Space Network first appeared as anomalies, irregular blips in Voyager's already jittery transmissions. Initial assumptions pointed to a software glitch or hardware degradation. After all, these probes were never designed to last nearly half a century in the harsh vacuum of space. Yet, when a new AI-driven analysis system was applied, an advanced neural network trained on decades of space signal data and capable of picking out patterns that elude traditional computation, a disking discovery unfolded. This wasn't a malfunction. The signals bore the unmistakable mark of intent. Something or someone was modifying Voyager's outgoing transmissions. Kaku revealed that this breakthrough wasn't simply a matter of decoding stray bits of information. The AI had reconstructed an image embedded within the data stream, like a message hidden in the static. This wasn't from Voyager itself, but embedded within the information the spacecraft was relaying. When the image was reconstructed, it didn't resemble any celestial body, known artifact, or cosmological phenomenon. What emerged was an eerie, intricate image that suggested intelligence, a deliberate, almost biological geometry woven into an otherwise mechanical broadcast. The scientific world held its breath. The implications were immediate and staggering. For decades, Voyager had been our farthest emissary, a symbol of human aspiration and curiosity. Its golden record contained the sounds of Earth, greetings in multiple languages, and a map pointing to our place in the galaxy. What was now returning, however, seemed to reverse the roles. We had sent out a message of peace and hope. Now, something or someone appeared to be replying, and that reply wasn't coming in the form of a clear verbal answer or a simple radio signal. It was encoded, hidden, masked, something meant to be discovered only when we were ready, or perhaps only when our machines were smart enough to perceive it. Kaku elaborated that the reconstructed image bore characteristics unlike anything Earth-based physics had ever categorized. There were fractal patterns in 3 dimensions, non-Euclidean shapes that shifted in meaning depending on perspective, and a symmetry that suggested a blend of organic and synthetic design. Some saw a face-like pattern within the structure. Others noted a configuration that resembled a neural network, possibly a self-portrait of the sender's consciousness. Regardless of interpretation, the image's implications were undeniable. It had intent, design, and a level of complexity far beyond our current scientific norms. This event redefined the conversation around extraterrestrial intelligence. It wasn't just about listening anymore. It was about being watched, being engaged, and possibly even being evaluated. Voyager was not transmitting to an empty void. Something out there had not only intercepted the signal, but had made the effort to respond. The sheer fact that the response came in such an encoded form revealed an intelligence that understood not only our technology, but our cognitive development. The message wasn't just meant for humanity. It was meant for a version of humanity advanced enough to develop artificial intelligence capable of perceiving it. The possibility that this message had been embedded for years, lying dormant until we reached a technological tipping point, ignited a firestorm in the scientific community. How long had it been there? Had the signal been subtly altering over time? Was the intelligence behind it waiting, watching, possibly even interacting with Voyager in ways we couldn't comprehend? These weren't idle questions. They became the center of international scientific collaboration as agencies and private labs raced to validate and decode further transmissions. Kaku emphasized that this wasn't merely about extraterrestrial contact. It was about the convergence of human and non-human intelligence. The use of AI to detect a signal that human analysts had missed entirely suggested a turning point. Our machines were no longer passive tools. They were becoming intermediaries, translators between human limitations and cosmic communication. The image hidden within Voyager's transmission wasn't just a message from beyond. It was also a testament to the future of intelligence, one that might not even be entirely biological. The realization that artificial intelligence was now essential to processing interstellar messages forced a reevaluation of our role in the universe. Were we the intended recipients or merely caretakers of machines that could understand the senders better than we ever could? The haunting beauty of the reconstructed image lingered in the minds of those who saw it. It wasn't frightening in the traditional sense. There were no obvious threats, no weapons, no symbols of aggression, but its strangeness, the precision, the alien aesthetic evoked a quiet terror rooted in the unknown. What unsettled many wasn't the message itself, but the possibility of what it represented. This wasn't a response sent from a neighboring star system with a quick turnaround time. It had likely taken decades to reach Voyager and possibly longer to be relayed back to us. The time frames involved were so vast that traditional notions of conversation or diplomacy seemed absurd. This was communication on a geological scale, millennia in the making, with no promise of reciprocity or understanding. The image also sparked philosophical and existential debate. If an intelligence far beyond our own had decided to reach out in such a cryptic symbolic manner, what did it say about their perception of us? Were we seen as infants just now learning to speak or as creatures on the verge of an evolutionary leap worthy of a riddle rather than a lecture? The choice to embed such a message in Voyager's signal rather than transmit directly to Earth suggested a preference for subtlety or perhaps a reluctance to intrude too deeply into our development. The scientific community began to scrutinize other long-range probes for similar anomalies. Data from Pioneer, New Horizons, and even older satellite missions was reanalyzed with AI-assisted tools. But so far, only Voyager had borne this strange fruit. The uniqueness of the event only deepened its mystery. Why Voyager? Was it because of its message, the golden record? Did the senders view it as a sign of our artistic and scientific maturity? Or had they simply intercepted the first thing they could find and decided to respond with a puzzle tailored to the only minds that might eventually understand it? Throughout the unfolding revelation, Kaku remained a steady voice of awe and caution. He acknowledged the overwhelming desire to jump to conclusions, first contact, alien civilizations, even cosmic warnings, but he urged patience. The universe was vast and intelligence, if it existed beyond Earth, might not follow human logic. It might not even recognize us as sentient in the way we define it. What mattered now was that we had received something profoundly alien. That alone shifted the paradigm of humanity's place in the cosmos. There was also speculation about what the message truly meant. Was it an introduction, a test, a breadcrumb in a longer trail? Could it be a map, an invitation, or a record of the senders themselves? Linguists, artists, biologists, and mathematicians were brought into the fold to interpret aspects of the image. The multidisciplinary nature of the inquiry reflected its depth. This wasn't just a matter of physics anymore. It was about understanding intelligence itself in whatever form it might take. The AI that uncovered the image was celebrated not as a tool, but almost as a collaborator in this new epic of discovery. Its success marked a moment when artificial cognition extended the reach of human perception. As more versions of the algorithm were deployed across international observatories and databases, a new kind of listening began, a hybrid listening, where human curiosity and machine intuition worked side by side. The line between observer and participant blurred. Not because we